Welcome to another edition of the DJ Roscoe Sports Show for this, what is it, Thursday, September 28th, 2023, coming to the live Palatial State here in Dallas, Pennsylvania, from our new refurbished basement. It's the DJ Roscoe Sports Show. We're very happy to be with you once again. It's my birthday weekend. I will be 37 years old this Sunday, October 1st. I share the same birthday as Mark McGuire, who's turned 60, the great President Jimmy Carter, and then I'm sure there's other October 1st birthdays out there, but those are the main ones. I remember that my mom used to always tell me. Mark McGuire, he's born in 1963, and then President Jimmy Carter. So I will be 37 years old. Where's the time gone? Let's get a physical. I haven't done that in a few years, so I got to do that today. We're getting ready to coach be the head baseball coach at Luzerne County Community College. Our first scrimmage is this Saturday, September 30th at Penn State Wilkes-Barre. Still trying to figure out what field we're going to play at, but we've been busy with practicing and getting ready for that. I have a high school football game to cover on Friday after baseball practice in Tunkhannock. It's the Lake Lehman Black Knights for the Tunkhannock Tigers, so that'll be a fun one to cover. Then a scrimmage the next day, and then for my birthday, I heard we're going to have a surprise trip. I found out the surprise. We're going to the last day of the Major League Baseball regular season. The Philadelphia Phillies, who clinched their playoff spot second season in a row. Congrats to the Philadelphia Phillies. They sing that song of their party and dance when they clinch. I keep dancing on my own. It's very catchy, and I don't do it justice. They were having a wild party on Tuesday night when they clinched on a walk-off RBI single in the 10th inning off the Pirates, off the Renegade, off David Bednar, their closer. The Phillies were partying. They will be the number one wild card seed in the playoffs, so they will get to host all three games, best of three, whoever gets the 2 wins first of the wild card series at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, starting this Tuesday, October 3rd. So that's exciting. So we'll be watching Philly playoff baseball, the only local team to make the playoffs, because Yankees, they look like they're going to have a winning record this year. They're not going to have a losing record, even though it's been a bad season for them. Garrett Cole's going to win the Cy Young Award. He pitched great, complete game shutout last night, 6-0 over the Blue Jays. The kids did pretty well when they called them up. The Martian, Jason Dominguez, but unfortunately got the Tommy John surgery, but he played great. Austin Wells has been hitting better. Aaron Judge hit 2 home runs last night. Maybe could have hit a third for the third time this season. He's already had 2-3 home run games. Most multi-home run games in Major League Baseball this year was 7, and he's only played in 103 games, and he has 37 home runs. So he still has a chance at 40 home runs, missing 2 months of the season, missed a third of the season. Incredible season for Aaron Judge after hitting 62 homers last year, record-breaking season. If they just had padded on that cement wall at Dodger Stadium on June 3rd, who knows what the Yankee season could have been like. They still have a lot of problems, but Aaron Judge might have been hitting close to 60 home runs again this year. He was on pace for that, and he's on pace right now. If he played 162 games, they hit 58 homers. So special season for Aaron Judge, even with the injuries. So it's big home runs, big 2 home runs last night. So he's at 37 homers, 75 RBIs with missing 2 months of the season. And Garrett Cole finishes the season leading the American League with lowest ERA, most innings pitched, one of the leaders in strikeouts with 222 strikeouts, 15-4 when they've blown a lot of leads for him, not giving runs for it. So he probably should have had at least 5 or 6 more wins, 20-something wins in a day and age where they don't even care as much about wins. But hats off, a salute to the great pitcher of Garrett Cole this season. Definitely deserves his first Cy Young Award. Should have had it years ago, but now he's finally to get it. And Aaron Judge had a great night. But the Yankees won't be in the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. They've been in the playoffs 6 straight years. They missed out on the playoffs in 2016. So first time since my kids have been born, since Lorelai was born in 2017, the Yankees will not be in the playoffs. The Yankees aren't in. Pirates aren't in, the Mets aren't in, but the Phillies are in for the second year in a row. They made a great run all the way to the World Series last year before losing in 6 games to the Houston Astros. Still a lot of pennant races to be decided. Like I said, Sunday will be the end of the regular season. So for my birthday, my wife surprised me. We're going to go to not Citizens Bank because it's in New York. It's going to be a Citi Field in Queens, Flushing, Queens, New York, right by where they played the U.S. Open across the street. It's a beautiful stadium. As much as I'm a Yankee fan, I'd say the Mets stadium is way nicer. I still want to go to the Pirates stadium because everyone says that's the most beautiful stadium in the league. The Mets stadium is beautiful. I haven't been there in 9 years, since 2014 when I first, like a month into, dated my future wife. And I went a lot when they first opened in 2009, the same year the Yankees opened up in New York. But it's a beautiful stadium. Can't wait to see it. They have a Jackie Robinson Rotunda because the former owner of the Mets, Fred Wilpon, was a big Jackie Robinson fan, I think, growing up in Brooklyn, New York, watching the Brooklyn Dodgers. And they have the Mets Hall of Fame with Keith Hernandez's number recently retired. Willie Mays' number was retired. All the great Met greats, Tom Seaver, Tom Terrific. And next year, they're going to have Daryl Shorey and Doc Gooden get their numbers retired. So a lot of exciting stuff. Mike Piazza had his number retired, of course. So very excited. So we get to go to the last day of the regular season. And the Mets had a disappointing season. They're not going to be in the playoffs. We'll see if Buck Showalter comes back. We'll see if the Yankees bring back Aaron Boone or not. We'll see what kind of wheeling and dealing the two New York teams play. But we'll get to see the Phillies as they gear up for their playoffs 2 days later on October 3rd. They host their National League Wild Card Series. We'll know soon at the end of Sunday with the regular season being over. But I get to see Phillies at Mets. So first time back at the back at Citi Field in New York in 9 years. So I was big excited. So baseball is very excited. NBA, Damian Lillard wanted to go to the Miami Heat, but he got traded to another title contender in the Eastern Conference, going to the Milwaukee Bucks to team up with Giannis, the Greek Freak. So that should be exciting to see what happens. So Damian Lillard, after all those great years with the Portland Trailblazers, he's going to the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll see what happens. That really shakes up the NBA. So NBA preseason, I think, already starts next week. And the regular season will be starting later in October. Ready, it's October 1st again on Sunday. So everyone's getting spooky, watching all the Halloween stuff, Halloween cartoons from my kids, and Halloween decorations, and haunted halls, and all that cool stuff. And so it's haunted houses. So really cool seeing the Halloween decorations come up, and the leaves are starting to change. The writer's strike is finally over. So hooray! Hallelujah! 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 Yeah, we don't have to just watch reality TV. And at least the late night comedy shows are pretty much all coming back. This Monday, October 2nd, they're going to have Jimmy Fallon's coming back, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, Stephen Colbert, so that's exciting. Saturday Night Live can come back soon. Bill Maher's coming ready back Friday on the 29th, and Daily Show's coming back on Monday, October 16th. So the late night comedy shows are coming back soon. Still have to settle the... Still have to settle the actor strike. So hopefully that will get settled soon, and then we can have more movies and TV shows being filmed, and get some sort of, even if it's an abbreviated short season of our favorite TV fall shows and new movies being written. So writer strike's finally over, so that's exciting. Philly's back in the playoffs. Damian Lillard's going to the Milwaukee Bucks. So NBA will be back before you know it. Hockey's coming back. First Baby Penguins regular season home game is on Saturday, October 21st at Mohegan Sun Arena and Casey Plaza in Wilkes-Barre. So basketball, hockey coming back, baseball playoffs starting this Tuesday, October 3rd, regular season wrapping up Sunday, and college football, Penn State's playing great. They're undefeated. They dominated their whiteout game 31-0 over Iowa. Congrats to Penn State. Notre Dame lost on a heartbreaker, unfortunately, and they had only 10 guys on the field, one guy too short in the last two plays. Ohio State got that last-second Russian touchdown right at the goal line. Ohio State beats Notre Dame in a heartbreaker, but Notre Dame's still a pretty solid team. I think they're at home against, I think they're prime time this week against Duke, Notre Dame. So Notre Dame lost the heartbreaker. Penn State keeps winning. A lot of good things. Colorado lost their first game under primetime Deion Sanders, got crushed by Oregon. They play another tough team at home at 12 o'clock on Fox against Caleb Williams, probably the number one draft pick in the NFL this year for USC. USC Trojans against Colorado, and without their star wide receiver and defensive back Travis Hunter, that's going to be a tough one. But we'll see how Colorado, Deion Sanders, and Deion Sanders' son, the star quarterback, Colorado, rebound and try to bounce back after facing some adversity. So, but we'll see with that. So, we talked some college football, basketball, hockey, baseball playoffs, basketball, hockey on their way back. And now we go to week 4 of the NFL season. And it goes by so fast. So, can't believe it. We feel like we just started. If it was preseason, then 2 seconds later, my Aaron Rodgers is knocked out after 4 plays, 75 seconds. And our Jets season has been destroyed. No Super Bowl hopes anymore. Thursday Night Football, it starts up tonight. Amazon Prime at 8:15 p.m. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, the college guy, has the call. Detroit Lions 2-1. They crushed the previously undefeated, but I didn't think were a really good team, Atlanta Falcons last week. Lions playing pretty well. Only loss was that close game the week before in overtime to the Seahawks. They will play the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field, who are 2-1 as well. Had an impressive comeback. Jordan Love, the young quarterback. They were down 17-0 to the New Orleans Saints last week in the second half. They came all the way back, won 18-17. Great comeback. They're also going to get their star running back Aaron Jones back from his injury. They got a hamstring injury. He'll be back tonight. Last time they played them, Packers just had a win and they were in the playoffs. The Lions were able to knock off Aaron Rodgers in his last home game at Lambeau Field to deny the Packers from going to the playoffs, and the Lions clinched a winning record. So big matchup, 2-2-1 teams. Lions at Packers. I'm going the Lions. As much as the Packers usually do pretty well at Lambeau Field, home field advantage, and I like their young quarterback. Jordan Love has been playing pretty well. But I really think in the end here, I think the Detroit Lions have more offensive firepower. I really like Jared Goff, what he's doing. Dan Campbell, they'll run through a brick wall for him. All the offensive firepower they have. I'll go with the Lions beating the Packers. I'll go with 27-17. They win by 10 on the road in Green Bay. So a nice win to improve to 3-1. Then on my birthday, Sunday, October 1st, there is a bunch of football games, including the first London game. So we have football all the way from morning all the way through night. So the first London game, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars always give one of their home games, play one of their home games in London. It's going to be on ESPN Plus, and a special one the kids are going to probably want to watch the boarded before we leave for that Mets game. Disney Plus, it's going to be Toy Story. They did this with Big City Green with Disney earlier in the year with a Boston Bruins New York Rangers hockey game that my kids enjoyed, and they're going to put all the characters in the land of Toy Story with Woody and Buzz Lightyear and Bo Peep and all that cool stuff, and Jesse, the Slinky Dog, and Rexy, all that cool stuff. They're going to take the Falcons and Jaguar players and put them in the land of Toy Story, only if you watch it on Disney Plus. So we can watch it that way because we don't have ESPN Plus. So it'll be on ESPN Plus and Disney Plus exclusively. First London game at 9:30 in the morning. The 2-1 Falcons scored off that, lost the Lions at the Jaguars, who were 1-2 after winning that first game of the season, lost to the Chiefs, and they got embarrassed at home against the Houston Texans. Not a game they should have lost. I think my buddy Dan Detroit's Jaguars will bounce back. They can't take it for granted. The Falcons have been playing pretty well with Desmond Ridder, their young quarterback, but I still like the Jaguars here. I think Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson and company have too much talent. They'll rebound from their second straight loss last week. Bad loss to the Texans. I think the Jaguars beat the Falcons here in London. They're used to playing there. It's a whole way from home in London. I'm going to go with the Jaguars beating the Falcons. Kind of an ugly game, 20-13. They win by a touchdown over the Falcons to improve their record 2-2, and the Falcons fall to 2-2. Then there's 9 early 1 o'clock games on my birthday this Sunday. 1 p.m. on CBS. The Dolphins, who put up 70 points, the most points in an NFL game in 57 years, since 1966. Their head coach really put it to his former team, the Broncos. He was a ball boy for it years ago. They didn't even offer him an interview, but they had a head coaching vacancy, and instead they traded like top picks. They gave all this money to Sean Payton, the former New Orleans Saints coach, and they've been an embarrassment. The Broncos 0-3 to start the year, so the Dolphins put up 70 points. Broncos scored 20 points, and they still lost by 50 points. 70-20, 70 points the Miami Dolphins put up. With Tua is healthy, along with Tyreek Hill, the Cheetah, the Dolphins' offense is unstoppable. They're scary good. So big-time division rivalry against a playoff rematch from last year when they did have Tua when he was hurt with all the concussions, and he still almost pulled off the upset on the road in Buffalo. Bills are hard to beat in Buffalo, but I'm going to go with the Dolphins here. I know Nana Fred's not going to like this. I think the Dolphins' offense is red hot. If Tua stays healthy, again, big if, him and Tyreek Hill are unstoppable if they're healthy. And that head coach is a great offensive guru. Dolphins 3-0, put up 70 points last week. The Bills have been playing better since they lost to my Jets. That crazy Aaron Rodgers game in the first game when he got hurt, and then the Jets won the walk-off. A punt return touchdown by Xavier Gibson, 3 horrible interceptions to the same guy Josh Allen had. His turnovers have been cut down. Won 2 games in a row. Beat the Raiders at home 2 weeks ago, and then beat the previously undefeated Washington Commanders last week. I think it's going to be a high-scored slugfest like last year's playoff game. But as long as Tua can stay healthy, I'll go with the Dolphins. Not put up 70 points, but winning 34-31 on the road in Orchard Park in Buffalo. Going to be one of the games of the day. AFC East rivalry. Dolphins 34-31. They beat the Bills. They improved to 4-0 undefeated. Bills fall to 2-2, 500. Sorry, Dan. I'm rooting for your Bills, but I think the Dolphins are red hot right now, especially offensively. 1 o'clock on Fox. The 0-3, they're desperate, the Minnesota Vikings. Won a division title last year, lost the first round to the Giants last year in the playoffs, disappointedly. But I watched that quarterback show on Netflix. Kirk Cousins, I still think is a heck of a quarterback. Lost in a high-scored shootout, a close game to also an undefeated, also a winless team last week. Justin Herbert, top quarterback for the Chargers. Vikings now 0-3 at the 0-3 Panthers. So, in many ways, like the Broncos and Bears next, it's the toilet bowl, the battle of the defeated. In the end, I think the Vikings stink a little less. I'll go with the Vikings because they still have a lot of offensive talent with Justin Jefferson, the star receiver. Kirk Cousins, I still believe it, even though he struggles to win the big one. It's hard to make the playoffs. Start off 0-3, but the Panthers 0-3. Their young quarterback has been struggling. I'm gonna go with the Vikings here. I think the Vikings win. They're desperate on the road in Carolina. They'll win. I'll go with 27-13. They win by 2 touchdowns. Get their first win of the season. Hallelujah, hallelujah. They're no longer winless. So Vikings win 27-13. Then 1 p.m. on CBS, the other toilet bowl battle defeated the 0-3 Broncos at the 0-3 Chicago Bears. Imagine if this was the primetime game on Sunday Night Football. I would feel bad for all of us diehard football fans. But Sean Payton's Broncos team with Russell Wilson, they're struggling. They're desperate. They gave up 70 points to the Dolphins last week, lost by 50. Dolphins really ran up the score, then played at the Bears, who got blowed out by the Kansas City Chiefs at home, scored 41 points, and all was about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Taylor Swift rumored to be going out with Travis Kelce, and they were all the camera was all over Taylor Swift hanging out with Mama Kelce in the press box. They were joking that Brittany Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes' wife, is probably gonna be super jealous that she gets an invite. They just barely know each other, just started dating, and it's Taylor Swift hanging out with Mama Kelce, who's become a star on her own, did commercials with her famous football sons Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce, who have their podcasts and all that, hosted Saturday Night Live, and Brittany Mahomes all these years later knows Mama Kelce, and she doesn't have an invite to that. Who knows? So I saw even a meme about Tanya Harding and Ansel Carrigan. I thought that was a nasty meme, but there's a lot of crazy stuff. The crowd is going to go crazy, and she's going to supposedly be at the game on my birthday on Sunday night when the Chiefs are going to destroy my Jets at MetLife Stadium. She performed some sold-out concerts there this summer, and Taylor Swift will be there. So I'm sure the camera crew, especially if it's a blowout, the Jets would lose by 30, 40 points. They're going to, Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth and NBC cameras will go right to Taylor Swift in the press box, especially if Mama Kelce's there, because what else are they going to show if the Jets are getting blown out? So I digress. The Bears got blown out last week. The Broncos got blown out last week. This one in Chicago, I'm going to give a slight, teeny tiny advantage to the Broncos to finally get their first win this season, first win under Sean Payton and Russell Wilson's regime. Bears and Broncos both stink, but they both have talent. Justin Fields has been struggling, blaming it on the coaches. Runs the ball pretty well, but struggling pass the ball. Even DJ Moore scored a late touchdown that Chiefs game, but got blown out. I'll go with the Broncos, 20-17, ugly game, but the Broncos win by 3, 20-17 on the road against the Bears, but both teams going nowhere. Sean Payton disappointed right now with the Broncos, along with Russell Wilson. 1 o'clock on CBS, the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. Both teams are 2-1, tied with the Steelers, who've won 2 games in a row. For the top of that division. Ravens lost a heartbreaker in overtime. They didn't call probably what should have been a pass interference to get them in field goal range. And then their Colts kicker set a record, 4 kicks of over 50 yards, and the Colts were just amazing there down the stretch under Gardner Minshew, because their young star quarterback Anthony Richardson was hurt with, I think, a concussion. So Gardner Minshew, who I wish the Jets had as a back quarterback like the Eagles had last year, at least he would be serviceable, do a decent job. Ravens lost a heartbreaker to them. Browns had a great game last week, scored a ton of points, and Deshaun Watson and Browns offense started really picking up even without Nick Chubb, who's out. Kareem Hunt is back in the fold to take his place after that horrible knee injury. Big-time division rivalry, AFC North battle. It'll be a tough slugfest, but I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens to bounce back. Lamar Jackson, all that offensive firepower, strong defense. I'm going to go with the Ravens to win. I'll go with 27-24. They win by 3 points over the Browns on the road in Cleveland. 1 o'clock on CBS, the Steelers, my wife's Steelers, 2-1, have bounced back after that horrible opening game against the 49ers, who might win the Super Bowl this year, so they got embarrassed that week. The offense looked terrible in the second game, but they won against the Browns with 2 defensive touchdowns by Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt. But then they looked much better, the offense against a Raiders team that probably is not that good, but they won in Vegas. A lot of home, almost like a home game. A lot of Steeler fans traveled to Vegas. That would be a cool place to go to see a Steelers game, and the Jets play in Vegas later this year. So Steelers have won 2 in a row. They're going to go on the road at the Houston Texans. They're going to honor J.J. Watt, I think, at halftime. Retire his number. Derek Watt, who was a Steeler, and T.J. Watt, and TJ Watt, who's of course the superstar of the Steelers, probably going to be one of the chances to win another Defensive Player of the Year award. Will be there to honor their brother JJ Watt. So the Steelers at the Texans, who finally won their first game of the year, hallelujah, against the Jaguars last week, go on the road to Houston, Texas. Uncle Scott and Aunt Rose are going to be there. We're going to the Texas State Fair, and they're going to see this game. They love the Steelers. I'm going to go with the Steelers here, win their 3rd in a row. You can't underestimate the Texans, but they really should win this game against a young rookie Texans quarterback who's getting better. But I think the Texans Texans still are a mediocre team. So I think the Steelers should win this game. It might not be great, but I think the offense should keep improving under Kenny Pickett. Hopefully Matt Canada, they keep saying fire Matt Canada. The offense can keep improving with all their offensive weapons with Pickens and Najee Harris and Firemuth. So the Steelers are going to get TJ Watt. It's been a menace on defense along with Alex Highsmith. I'll go with the Steelers to win. I'll go with 24-13. They win by 11 points on the road against the Houston Texans. They'll improve to 3-1. And the sky's not falling in Pittsburgh then if they win that game. We'll be there on October 29th to see Steelers and Jaguars in just a few weeks. We're very excited about that against Trevor Lawrence and company. 1 o'clock on Fox, the Rams at the Colts. Rams are 1-2. Colts are 2-1 and have been playing pretty well of late. The Rams won that first game of the year against the Seahawks, but then they lost a tough one to the 49ers 2 weeks ago. And then this past week, they lost in a close 3-point game on Monday Night Football. The second Monday Night Football game was ugly against Joe Burrow and the Bengals, who were desperate and finally got their first win this season. It was hard to imagine they would go 0-3 with all how good the Bengals have been recently, especially under Joe Burrow. But the Rams 1-2 at the Colts. I'm going to go with the Rams here. Even though the Colts have been playing pretty well of late, and the rookie quarterback's been made up. They've been playing pretty well with Gardner Minshew. They have a great field goal kicker who's just clutch. But I think I might be crazy, but I think Matthew Stafford and that Rams offense and Sean McVay has been playing better of late. They have a young, talented receiver. Aaron Donald still a menace on defense. I think the Rams will win a close one. I think they'll go on the road and we get the win. I think I'll go with 23-20 Rams over the Colts. Even their record at 2-2, Colts will fall to 2-2. 1 o'clock on Fox, the Bucks 2-1 Bucks at the Saints, who are 3-0 magically. But Derek Carr is banged up. He has a shoulder issue, a sprained shoulder joint, so James Winston had to play a little last week. But the Saints keep winning, and they usually have the Bucks number even when Tom Brady was there, besides the one playoff game. The Bucks were 2-0. Baker Mayfield has been playing better of late, but they got beat up by the Eagles. I'm going to go with the Saints here at home. I still think the Bucks are a tough team here, but I think the Saints at home still have the Bucks number, and Baker Mayfield will do his best, but I think he'll turn the ball over a little bit. The Saints defense have been playing pretty well. As long as, whether it's Carr injured or Jameis Winston being a serviceable backup, I think the Saints will do enough offensively, and they'll continue to have the Bucks number. I'm going to go with the Saints 24-17. They win by a touchdown over Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Saints improved to 4-0. Surprisingly, Bucks fall to 2-2. 1 o'clock on Fox, Washington 2-1 Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles 3-0. Even though they're nitpicking and the Eagles could do better at this and that, but still they beat the Patriots, then the Vikings in close ones, and they beat up on the Bucks on Monday Night Football. They blew them out. Jalen Hurts and the offense started picking up. The defense played really strong, especially the star Georgia Bulldog college players they keep drafting. I think the Eagles at home in Philly, I'd be shocked if Washington could be there. I know Washington beat them last year on Monday Night Football. I like Sam Howell, their young quarterback. I think he's underrated for Washington, but I think Washington's mediocre. They were 2-0 to start the year, got blown out by the Bills. We were kind of exposed last week. I think the Eagles, as long as they don't take them too lightly, will blow out the Washington Commanders. I'll go with the Eagles. I'm going to go with 34-17. They double up the Washington Commanders. Eagles win. They improve to 4-0. Win bigly over Washington. Washington will fall 2-2. 1 o'clock on Fox, the last of the 9 early 1 o'clock games. 1 o'clock on Fox, the 1-2 Bengals at the Tennessee Titans, who are also 1-2. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Even up their record at 2-2 and stay competitive in the AFC North Division. After the start of the year 0-2, they played better last week, though it was still kind of ugly. He has the calf injury, which concerns me, so he's been limited in practice a lot. But I think the Bengals beat the Rams. They finally got the win column. I don't really trust the Titans. I think the Titans got blown out by the Cleveland Browns last week. I think the Bengals go on the road to Tennessee. I know there's still Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill. I don't have a lot of faith in. Mike Vrabel's a good coach, defensive-minded coach, but I think Joe Burrow, as long as he's relatively healthy, and the Bengals, all that offensive talent that with Chase and all those guys, I go with the Bengals here. I'm going to go Bengals 24. I'm going to go with the Bengals 24-10. They win by 2 touchdowns on the road at Tennessee to prove to 2-2, and the Titans fall to 1-3, going nowhere. 4 o'clock late afternoon games. 4:05 on CBS. The 1-2 Raiders struggling with Jimmy Garoppolo at the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert finally got his first win of the year, beating the Vikings last week. They're both 1-2 teams. I'll go with the LA Chargers here to win. Chargers offense started to click, put up some big points, even though they lost one of their star receivers, Mike Williams, who's hurt, out for the season. Raiders, just Jimmy Garoppolo, very mediocre on offense so far, and I still think they turn the ball too much. The defense is struggling. I'm going to go with the Chargers to beat up on the Raiders. Let's see. I'll go with Chargers. They put up a ton of points even when they were losing. I'm going to go with the Chargers to beat the Raiders 34-13. They win by 3 touchdowns and crush the Raiders in LA. Then 4:25 on Fox. This is a battle of two teams I hate. The Patriots at Cowboys. I'm going to go with the Cowboys to bounce back and beat the Patriots. Cowboys lost a bad game, got blown out by the Arizona Cardinals on the road to Arizona. That's an ugly loss. Patriots got their first win in the ugly rain against my stinky Jets. Zach Wilson stinks it up. Even Joe Willie Namath, the great legendary coach of the Jets, says that Zach Wilson's stinking it up. They should replace him. Cowboys, I think, will bounce back, even with losing their star quarterback, Tavon Diggs, for the whole season with the torn ACL in practice. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys offense, and the defense with Micah Parsons, they need to bounce back after that ugly loss to the Cardinals. I'm going to go with the Cowboys, beat the Patriots. Still don't have a lot of fake. Mac Jones is decent, but not great. The offense is mediocre. Defense is always strong under Bill Belichick's defense, a strong defense, but they're still, without Tom Brady, it's not the same offense. I don't have much faith in the Patriots. They barely beat my Jets, who stink, and it was in the pouring rain against a good team. The Patriots probably lose that game if they had even a decent quarterback, the Jets, who could make plays down the field. Besides the one score drive for the Jets, touchdown drive. I'll go with the Cowboys to beat the Patriots at home in Dallas in Big D for Jerry Jones. I'll go with 30-20. They win by 10 points over the Patriots. The last of the 4 o'clock games, 4:25 on Fox. Cardinals 1-2 at the 49ers 3-0. 49ers are going to crush them, win bigly. I'll go with 42-10. They win by 32 points, destroy the Cardinals, who had that nice win over the Cowboys last week after blowing the big 21-point lead to the Giants the week before. But Josh Dobbs, the former Steelers quarterback, and James Conner, I love, the former running back of the Steelers. But they can only do so much. 49ers are going to crush them 42-10 in the NFC West rivalry. 49ers still rolling in one of the classes of the NFC, trying to go to the Super Bowl. Sunday Night Football on my birthday. We'll hopefully get back home in time for the Mets-Phillies game from New York. 8:20 on NBC and Peacock. The 2-1 Chiefs and Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce will be in attendance at the New York Jets. The Jets, stinky Jets 1-2. Need Zach Wilson out there. Trevor Siemian has been signed to be a backup practice squad quarterback. Tim Boyle's there, but Zach Wilson, they're going down with the sunken ship, and it might cost Robert Saleh, the head coach's job. And Aaron Rodgers isn't coming back anytime soon. At best next season, after the torn Achilles after 4 plays, 75 seconds. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Even with the Jets' strong defense, they're playing tough. I'm sure they're going to be frustrated how bad the offense is, not giving them a chance to win. If they had just a decent quarterback, like even Mike White last year, gave them a chance to win over Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson I think will either turn over the ball or play too conservative. At this point, I'd let him roll. Even if he turns over the ball a lot, at least give him a chance to win. Throw the ball down the field, give yourselves a chance, and really air it out and see what happens. Instead, they play very conservative, and he's gun shy throwing the ball, and the Jets' offense has been very pedestrian, terrible. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs, beat it up by Jets. Unfortunately, it stings, but I'm going to go with 34-10, 24-point win over my Jets on my birthday to close out the night, but I'll still watch as I cry myself to sleep with my birthday cake. But at least I have a beautiful family and I'm a very lucky person, but my Jets stink. And I had hope for Super Bowls, and now nothing. Now that Aaron Rodgers out, and we relied on Zach Wilson, I'd take anyone. Carson Wentz even said he'd want to play for them. He's unemployed, looking for a job. He's at least decent. Give you a chance to maybe make the playoffs, but instead they're going to go down with the ship with Zach Wilson, who stinks. 3 years running, does not deserve to be out there. He's horrible. Jets will lose 34-10 to the world champion Chiefs, and there'll be lots of Taylor Swift shouts, but Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes will light it up. They didn't read that great offense. Monday Night Football, October 2nd, 8:15 p.m. on ESPN and ABC simulcast and the Manning cast. It's going to be Eli Manning's New York Giants on the next night, also hosted at MetLife Stadium, just like the Jets are on Sunday Night Football. Seahawks at the Giants. This was a tough one. The Giants had a nice comeback win, great comeback win, the biggest comeback win in their team history over the Cardinals 2 weeks ago, but they got embarrassed on Thursday Night Football by the 49ers. It's a tough one to call. I'm going to go with the Seahawks here. As much as I want to go with the Giants at home, Geno Smith, used to that surroundings at MetLife Stadium, even though he struggled a lot with the Jets. I think the Seahawks will, and he played even a little for the Giants, and then Eli Manning's consecutive game playing streak a few years ago. I think the Seahawks will do enough. I'm hoping Daniel Jones will play well. Saquon Barkley's still out with the ankle injury, high sprained ankle. Hopefully he'll be back in a couple of weeks. But I'm hoping the Giants play pretty well. They had the great comeback win over the Cardinals, else they'd be 0-3, which they very well could be, probably should be. So they're 1-2, but I think they'll fall 1-3. I think the Seahawks will win a close one. I'm going to go with 20-13. Seahawks on the road get a big win over the Giants. I just have a little more faith in Pete Carroll and Geno Smith and that strong Seahawks defense over a mediocre Giants offense with just Daniel Jones and a couple of offensive weapons, but without their star running back who can run the ball great and catch the ball in the backfield, Saquon Barkley. So I'll go with Seahawks 20-13 over the Giants. So those are my picks. So again, we're going to go with... Sorry, Thursday Night Football. We'll recap our picks again. We'll go with Lions over the Packers, the London early morning game, and we'll go with Jaguars over Falcons, Dolphins over the Bills on Sunday, Vikings over the Panthers for their first win, the battle of the defeated Broncos over the Bears. We'll go with the Ravens over the Browns, Steelers over the Texans, Rams over the Colts, Saints over the Bucks, Eagles bigly over Washington, Bengals over the Titans, Chargers over the Raiders, Cowboys over the Patriots, 49ers over the Cardinals and crush them. Chiefs destroy my Jets on Sunday Night Football, but Taylor Swift will at least be there, so that's a positive for all the Taylor Swift fans, all the Swifties. And on Monday Night Football, Seahawks with a close one over the Giants. So those are my picks for Week 4 of the NFL season. We'd love to hear what you say. Be down, call me the morning, take two, call me the morning, hasta la vista, baby, and things that nature. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Cookie starts with C. Cookie starts with C. Little Cookie Monster and Schwarzenegger blended together. We'd love to hear what you say. Agree, disagree, we'd love to hear you. DJ Roscoe Sports Show, your home for all your favorite sports and entertainment talk. The new Saw movie, Saw 10, comes out tomorrow night, technically tonight. As well, the new Paw Patrol movie the kids want to see comes out. Like I said, the writer strike's over. Hopefully the actor strike will be over soon. So lots of shows and movies coming out. The Travis Kelce documentary is great. So lots of fun things to watch on streaming and in the movie theaters. And Haunted Halls opening up and all that cool stuff. Reaper's Revenge, all the fun Halloween stuff to get you ready. But new Saw movie, new Paw Patrol movie, two totally different audiences. The new Exorcist movie comes out. 50 Years in the Making sequel comes out next week. And the Taylor Swift concert movie the week after on Friday the 13th on October 13th. So, wrap up the show by singing a quick song to my beautiful wife, Abby. Love you all my heart. And my beautiful kids, Lorelai and LJ. Love you guys with all my heart. So, I'm going to sing a little Rickroll on a Thirsty Thursday. Never going to give you up. Never going to let you down. Never going to run around and desert you. Never going to make you cry. Never going to say goodbye. Never going to tell a lie and hurt you. Never going to give you up. Never going to give you up. There's a little Rickroll on a Thirsty Thursday. Love you, Abby. Love you, Lorelai. I love you, LJ. And you make every day worthwhile. And feel every day with you guys makes me feel like my birthday. It doesn't make me feel old and too scared to get older every year. Even at 37, getting closer to the big 4-0. But being with you guys makes every day feel like a birthday or Christmas or Hanukkah. It makes it feel special. So I love you guys with all my heart. And I love you guys for listening each and every week to the DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Your home for all your favorite sports and entertainment talk right here on DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Happy end of September. Happy October. Keep it locked. DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Your home for all your favorite sports and entertainment talk right here. Have a great weekend, everyone. Celebrate my birthday. Celebrate watching some great football. Playoff baseball about to happen. Basketball, hockey coming back. And all the great stuff. And all the Halloween movies and shows. All that great stuff. Keep it locked. DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Your home for all your favorite sports and entertainment talk, everyone. Bye-bye.